wedding to look like?
Honestly, I was thinking more almost Knights of the Round Table, where it's got the sweetheart table and the rest of the tables go around. I know that this dance floor is square, and we've got 8 tables, so how do you balance getting them in there without people crowded or so far apart that it's not comfortable?
Okay, fantastic. Now, as far as, I know you guys want to incorporate a lot of the water with your stuff.
Well, earth, air, fire, water.
Well, at least all the elements. Here's my only, I don't want to issue is the wrong word, but here's the only thoughts on the current floor plan. When Brian takes a photo of you guys here, there's really nothing pretty on the background. When you do the toast or anything like that, we have a large room and you guys want to make it more intimate. The best way is to basically define your floor. Now, the original idea that I have would be where we do lighting, usually where it's over the DJ and it hits the dance floor area. What I think is we should actually define a dance floor with the lighting.
That sounds like a really great idea.
So basically, we would have, these are called totems, right? You have your trust totems there.
Okay.
And these would actually be lit up with this wedding color, like dead on.
Oh,
so
really?
it's like the 4 pillars.
That's so cool.
Now, while you do your first dance, you would actually have, these are called movers. They move and do pretty beams around the floor, all nice and pretty. It'll work. So we can do a really pretty effect in the center of the floor. Since you want to incorporate water, that water effect that I showed you earlier, you could actually project that right over that center area so it would look like you guys are dancing on water.
Okay.
The beams would be perfectly synced with your wedding colors. And then we would have what we call just it's called a blinder. It's just a bright white light. We would dim it a bit, of course, but basically it's true white. It's what's called 6300K daylight. But what do you think? You guys like something like that?
Now, the lights, the movers are only for up top, right?
Well, I can actually define how far they hit. Just right now, this was a quick program.
Oh, okay.
They would actually be aimed to hit the entire down area.
Okay, so they'll actually be aimed down, not... Okay.
Yeah, now what we do is, a lot of times, let me bring it over here. What we do a lot of times is I can grab the control of each one, so we would actually have the movers hitting the center, or like the grand entrance area. So as you guys walk in, you would be walking almost like a spotlight effect.
Nice, okay. I like that.
It's pretty, it's elegant. I think what's really fun is, because remember you had mentioned that you want to make it into a party, once it's time for actual dancing, then the lights would actually be going all sorts of fun, cool colors and all that. So, I don't have any programs set on here yet, but let's go over here. So again, you can actually grab the lights and everything. We can just do all sorts of really neat programs. But then when we do stuff like your cake cutting, I can do true white with the lights, and I can grab them and we can point them directly at your cake.
Okay.
Or we can point them where we do the toast. Now, on top of that, then we also have the floods. And the floods is what's going to flood the entire dance floor area, and we want to hit the outer areas with color as well. But then everything's computer controlled, so we can actually dim the lights on and off, so when it's time to do, like if we have the video toast, well, the lights will suddenly dim, all the attention goes on the video screen. When the lights dim back up, now the lights will be aimed towards the cake table.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty, it's fun, exciting.
Yeah, the fact that the light color doesn't have to be one specific color, that it will end up rotating like that. I shouldn't say rotating,
But yeah.
that would be awesome. I like that idea.
Now, I know that since your daughter's singing, we could also use one of these to do a spotlight on her too.
Most definite.
So we have the focus on you guys, especially with the water effect. We can do a couple of these to create almost like a spotlight effect on you guys or move around. And then one of these would be aimed towards her the entire time that she's singing.
I know.
Anything else that you guys want to see or something you want to incorporate for the wedding?
I know we had talked about uplighting. I'm not entirely sure how that would be incorporated there at Lake Ashton.
Well, I have photos. For you see, we took photos of some uplighting at Lake Ashton because we carry a camera with us to events to take photos. This is one of my absolute favorites because it shows you how stunning the room looks at night. Actually, that's right as the sun is setting, and this wedding was, I believe, in the middle of July. So it's a perfect timing.
Right. And you still see that it's still bright outside, but everything's been. Oh, that's Ashton, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Ashton.
Wow.
It's amazing how much different it looks with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I do this for a living, and every time I'm like, man, we did this.
That's awesome.
So you see the K table. We can do this under your head table because it's all wirelessly controlled. It would stay completely off until you sit down for the very first time to have your dinner. Then it turns on, and that teal really shines through.
So all of a sudden we just. What, is there like a switch by you, or
Yeah,
is it like a
everything's
whoopee
controlled.
cushion? I sit down and the light comes on?
No, everything's controlled by us, so we pretty much keep an eye on things. And once we see that you guys walk in, you sit down, then you see the table fade on.
He's so wicked.
Now, that same thing happens with your cake table. The cake table stays completely off.
If anyone
until-
comes and sits down at the cake table.
We can just start flashing it red.
Hey, you know what? I like that.
And it projects beautiful twinkling stars all over the ceiling, at least over the dance floor area. Here's what it looks like. What do you think?
Nice. We'd be dancing on the water and underneath the stars.
The other way to make that more perfect is if there's a full moon somewhere.
We can project that on one of the walls.
Oh, nice. That'd be awesome.
You talked about a lot of really amazing things, a lot of great ideas. What's the price tag?
All right, well, let's start breaking things down and we'll kind of customize from there.
Okay.